Hello guys, I'm here once again to answer some of your very interesting Korean questions, so let's go! Hello, I'm Hyunwoo from talktomeinkorean.com. 안녕하세요. talktomeinkorean.com is our website where you can learn Korean. So with the introduction out of the way, here are the 4 questions that I'm going to answer in this video. And the first one came in from Georgina Donna. So what is the difference between Matsuda and Machida? So of course you write it as Machida, but you read it as Machida. So because the pronunciations of these two words are so similar, actually a lot of Korean native speakers get these two mixed up all the time, and even broadcasters and even actors, singers who should know the language fairly well, they make mistakes between these two. So what are Matsuda and Machida? So basically, both Matsuda and Machida are based on 맞다. So if you wear a certain piece of clothing, if it 맞다, 옷이 맞아요, it means it fits you, it matches you, it fits the size of your body, right? 맞다. So that's 맞다. And also, if you're talking about guessing the answer of a quiz question, or when you are basically guessing, and if your answer or guesswork was correct, that's the correct kind of 맞다. So this 맞다 is to fit, and this 맞다 is to be correct. So these two 맞다s have 2 different types of causative forms. So 맞추다 means to make something fit, and Hida or Machida in natural pronunciation, it means to make something correct. Okay? So 맞추다 means to match something. So if there are puzzle pieces, you 맞춰요. 맞추다 and you say 맞춰요. 제가 맞췄어요. You put them together, put the puzzle pieces together. And if you guess something correctly, you can say 맞췄어요. Okay? I'm sure you can hear the similarities, but also see the differences using the text written on the screen. So once again, even Korean native speakers, they also make mistakes using these 2 expressions correctly. So don't worry if you make a mistake using these, and just remember they're based on 맞다. The next question came in from Mikael Ferreira. Could you explain why 우리 is translated to my, as in 우리 엄마? So this is an interesting, cultural difference. So when you say 우리, of course it literally means us or we or our, depending on what word follows 우리. So 우리는, it means we are so and so, and 우리 반 means our class, 우리 학교, our school. So it should be just fairly simple. 우리 is our. But in actual conversations, you will notice that people say 우리 when it should be my. A classic example would be when you say 우리 와이프. So 와이프 means wife, or 우리 아내, 우리 아내. And if you actually analyze it, it's weird because it means our wife, as if someone were actually a shared wife between 2 people. So it would be weird in most countries, right? So, and the same goes for 우리 남편, okay? Our husband. So whoever is saying that is not meaning that the husband is shared in any way. It means my husband, my, wife. So why do people say that? It's because when people say 우리, it doesn't mean you, the listener, and me, the speaker. In many cases, 우리 means our family, like you versus me or you versus us. So not always, this is important, not always, but in many cases, 우리, when people say that, it includes the speaker but excludes the listener. And interestingly, there's another term for we or us, which is 저희. So 저희 is used when you're talking to an outsider, obvious outsider, and you're talking about, for example, our school, and the person who's listening is not part of the school. You can say 저희 학교에서는 저희, right? While being polite. And if you want to include the listener, 우리 팀에서는. So in that case, it is wrong to say 저희 팀에서는 because it automatically throws the person out of the team, right? So 저희 and 우리, we have these distinctions, but again, in normal everyday conversation, day-to-day interactions, people say 우리 all the time, and it has basically 2 meanings. Us, including everybody, and us, including my team only, okay? So that's why it is translated into English as my mother, my team, my wife, my husband. And it should be in the case of husbands and wives. And this next question is the one that you saw in the title of this video and also in the thumbnail. So this came in from ZQ15, Z Bubblegum, and I was wondering what the difference between nega and nega is. So please show an example. Thank you. So this is a very common question, and I've answered the same question in person to many people, but I don't think I've ever actually addressed it in a Q&A video. So good question. Thank you. So when you want to say you in casual language, 반말, that's 너, okay? 너. And when you want to add the subject marker, 가, it should be 너가. And a lot of young people, children, they often say that. In some regions, people say 너가, 너가, to say you or you do something. So you is 너 and 가 is the subject marker. But in standard Korean writing, it should be this, okay? This. And the pronunciation is supposed to be something like nega, nega, versus nega, I. So you can see the similarities. Nega, like I, and nega. And I'm not even entirely sure whether I am actually representing the sounds correctly. So nega and nega, since these are so similar, people started kind of pronouncing this word or this expression in a different way. And people say 니가, 니가. So in text messages or casual social media posts, people actually write 니가, 니가, but in textbooks or in, I guess, drama lines or line books and stuff like that, you often see this one, nega, nega, but nobody ever says that in real life. If someone was to actually use that, people would be confused and they would verify, like, you mean I or you? So people always 100%. If it's not 100%, it's 99.999%. It's 니가 in pronunciation and written as nega. And the last question came in from Lisa. So when you add 자 to a verb, it becomes like, let's do this. The answer is partially yes, because you don't add 자 to a verb. You have to conjugate it. So you take the verb stem and then add 자. And this also only works in casual language, which we call 반말. 반 meaning half, so half language, it's shorter. So in 반말, you can say things like, for example, if you have the verb 먹다, to eat, you can drop 다. So if you drop 다, what is remaining is the verb stem in most cases. So 먹 is the verb stem and you add 자, 먹자. So 먹자 means let's eat. So for example, 가다 is to go. So drop 다, what do you have? 가. So how do you say let's go? 가자. 보다 is to see, to look, to watch. So you drop 다, what do you have? 보, and you say 보자. And also to do is 하다. 하다 is actually the most versatile Korean verb, and you can attach it to many Korean nouns to form new verbs. So 하다, 하다 changes to 하자. So again, you don't put 자 at the end of a verb, the whole verb, but drop 다 and then add 자. And this is only 반말. For formal speech, polite speech, 존댓말, you say 요 or 요 or 여요. So 해요, 우리 이거 해요, 이거 봐요, things like that. And there are other forms, but for 반말, you're good to go. So these are all the questions for this video. Please keep sending us questions on Twitter at ttmik. And if you happen to take some pictures of how you study, please share those pictures with us so that we can maybe retweet, maybe we can see how you're studying and what kind of books you are using in addition to our books as well. So thank you so much for studying with us, and I will be back with another video very soon. 감사합니다. Bye.